I see us about to make the very same mistake that we've made over and over and over again these past 6 months. Could we please not make the same mistake? Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and we inspire. And what I'm speaking of specifically is the administration's philosophy of fire, ready, aim, instead of aim, ready, fire. Specifically, and there's many different examples of this, but let's be specific with the one that's on the table right now, the one that's in the major public eye. And I am, of course, speaking about sending our children back to school. We are in a fire, ready, aim philosophical mode right now, and that hasn't worked in the past, and it won't work in the near future. And I'm going to go over with you the why and because and how we should go about solving it. First of all, right now we don't know how, and we have some inklings, there have been some tests, but nothing has been super conclusive as to how much children are going to be in a position to spread the virus. It's been said that children under 10, they're okay, but once children 10 to 19 are in that position, then they're just as spread worthy. They just spread it as much as adults spread it. So, but we don't really know. We don't really know. So if we send our kids back to school and we do it right now, this minute, isn't that fire, ready, aim, without having the knowledge that we need right here in the palm of our hand? How can we have that as a policy? What we're doing when we do that is we're begging, yes, begging for the pandemic to spread even worse than it has already. And as I sit here making this video for you, they're talking about 70,000 plus people every day testing positive, and over 1,000 people a day dying for the last 5 days. That's not acceptable. All right? So that's the first thing about the kids. Now, why, you may ask the question, okay, but there are other countries, Eli's dad, that are sending their kids back to school, and it seems to be working for them. Why can't we do that here? Here's the reason. The countries that are doing that have their numbers down to an incredibly small, infinitesimal level. We don't. If you have the numbers down to a small level, then you have the scenario under control. That's number one. Number two, when there is an outbreak, what you're able to do only when the numbers are under control is to trace the origins of where the virus came from, take the proper action, quarantine the proper people to minimize / eliminate the spread of the virus. Are we able to do that? We have the capability of testing. We haven't done it yet. We should be doing it, all right, because there's too much testing. Okay, hopefully we'll change that tune, just as we've changed the tune about wearing masks. We should be saying wearing a mask and getting tested is patriotic because you're doing it for the benefit of your fellow citizens. But once you get to that position where the numbers are in a manageable, small number, then you are in a position where the actions you take you can actually pinpoint, I need to do something right here. Okay, over there is okay. We're not seeing any positive outbreaks, but right here we have one. Let's go back, let's trace it, let's get in touch with everybody, let's minimize it. You can't have a fire, ready, aim mentality. We had that once before, didn't we? All right, here are the guidelines. You got to have the 14 days, and then States like Georgia opened up right away. States like Florida, states like Texas opened up way prematurely before the numbers were under control. And it's not just those states. Many of the states opened up before they were able to comply with the guidelines that were A, reasonable, and B, doable. But people are in such a hurry, they don't have the patience to do what it takes to get the job done. My friends, this is one of the times where patience is absolutely a necessity. It's absolutely a necessity. And if you don't have it, if you don't have the wherewithal, the mindset, and the vigilance to comply with the necessary simple steps, they're simple. If you don't have that patience to comply, take a look and see what's happened. Okay? You can't get on the bully pulpit and say, oh, you know, in the warm weather, this puppy's going to go away. You know, it's just going to disappear. You know, we're doing some good things with the vaccine. Okay, come on. Let's take a look at the empirical evidence. You cannot put a spin on a pandemic. That's what they've been trying to do, but you get to the point where the numbers just say, you know what? I can't blame it on the testing anymore. All I can do is blame it on the behavior. And who's responsible for the behavior? Well, certainly the people are responsible for the behavior, but also the leadership is responsible for the behavior. So we need our leadership to make an adjustment, to correct the mindset. This is not something that's just a passing phase. This is something that is dominating our society right now as we know it. And one of the key things is you want the economy to get back. You know, you don't want people to be evicted from their homes. You know, the people that are on unemployment, they want their extra $600. And I understand all that. I absolutely understand all that. But the policy that you're taking in terms of let's get people back to work real quick is actually a detriment to achieving those particular goals, because the more people that have it, the more strain you're putting on that segment of society, the health sector, which is one of the major pieces of a successful, civilized government, people, nation. You have to have that under control. Why can't we see that? It's necessary. So even the Donald has come to the conclusion, probably with the help of people running his campaign, saying, you know what? You can't keep spinning this pandemic. It's not going to spin. It's here. It's all around. We're seeing it. We've got to take the reins and we've got to do some leadership. And it appears he's doing it reluctantly, but finally something is getting done. It's a little bit late, but let's get this job done. So what have I learned? I've learned that when the dam breaks, you can't say, hey, we got a little rain outside, all right? So make sure you put on your boots and make sure you put on your galoshes, or as we would say in Massachusetts, your rubbers, okay? Or the correct way to say it is put on your rubbers, all right, before you go outside. That spin is not going to cut it any longer. You cannot spin a pandemic in health, in business, in family. You just can't. You've got to take care of it. So let's not end this meeting on a philosophical note. Let's learn something. Let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.